Hey guys, welcome back to the Project Bodybuilding Podcast, episode 18 with SUPERSETMAN. Florin is in the house for not his first podcast ever. He has done one or two, depending on when this goes up. But this is the first time on the Project Bodybuilding Podcast. Very pleased to have you. You made your request in the comments on one of my other videos, and we made it happen.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. Hello, everybody, and hi to my one of my heroes, Mark's Max Master. First
Uh,
time talking
yep.
with
And
him.
then we have Mark, lagging Mark.
Thanking Mark.
Yes, yes.
I don't know. So we had some technical difficulties for those viewers at home. We don't know if the lag, well, I don't know if the lag will show up on video or not. I assume it will. But I mean, we borderline do radio shows anyway, Like we don't none of us show face on of any of our videos, so I mean, it's not like that matters a whole lot, I would suppose. So, lagging Mark will be filling in for Mark's Max Muscle today, and we're going to do two things mainly: recap and review the main results from the Chicago Pro. Surprisingly, turned out to be one of the better shows of the year. And then we'll get into some previewing of what will definitely be one of, if not the biggest show of the year, the Dubai Pro. So let me share my screen. Mark, what did you think of Chicago just in general? Were you pleased with the show? I guess I should ask.
I was pleased with obviously the winner. It was exciting. New guy coming in and you know.
Hmm.
And I was going to go I went out on a limb, I thought, predicting him to win, but as I was watching the prediction videos, a lot of the other channels were predicting him to win too, so but there
Uh,
was a couple of disappointments, of course.
yeah, we'll certainly get to that. Florin, what did you
Yeah.
think of the overall show? Was it one of your favorites of the year, or were you just like meh?
I was pleasantly surprised to see basically everyone on at this show. I mean, you guys know, maybe watching my content, I like mass monsters and I like conditioned mass monsters.
Hmm.
So that was awesome to see.
Okay. Now I do want to. We're going to stick to the top five, but I do want to talk about one guy in particular that was not in the top five. And you guys may have predicted Mo to win the show. I didn't. Jake and I went out on a limb and we're like, well,
Oh,
Hassan
you get
has to win. He's had a couple of weeks, right, since his
yeah,
last showing. Like usually he gets better as time goes on, and that just makes sense because his
yeah.
conditioning is usually an issue. So he fixes that as time goes on. I predicted him to win. I had Mo in second or third. Um, but yeah, Hassan disappointing again, more so than he has been in the past. Like Hassan is known for like ups and downs, but I feel like this is quite a downer for him. At least these two shows. What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, absolutely. He's broke my heart one too many times, fool
Ex-
me once,
exactly.
you know. But yeah, it's been like you said, this stretch here, he comes up and down. He'll do a show, and what was it, the Vancouver last year?
Yeah,
He
and he was
managed he
okay
managed
there.
he managed to nail it after a couple of not bad, not as bad as this year, but he got a couple of second places and then boom, he nailed it. But this year it seems like after the Olympia, I thought he was way off.
Yeah, and the stomach was bigger for sure. Like you said, it's basically
Competition is different as well, so
it's a fool me once situation, and I said that when I predicted him. You got to do the grain of salt with Hassan. It's just like, well, if he brings it, but it's just such a big if.
yeah.
Warren, did you have him anywhere close to your predicted winner, or?
Man, I didn't have a prediction video for this show, but
Mhm.
I was watching Mark's prediction video, and you said about him that this guy can be Mr. Olympia, and if
Yes.
he needs the conditioning, and it's such a pity he never does. I mean, with that physique, if he nails the conditioning and keeps the stomach in check, I don't see how he doesn't get at least in the first call out at the Olympia. I mean, can you imagine, like we're wondering how would Nick Walker would look with bigger quads, but this guy
Mhm.
has
Absolutely he does.
humongous quads and big arms and everything is packed, man. Like calves, everything is very complete. I mean, he doesn't have the aesthetics. I know judges look for that a lot. Like I mentioned, I value aesthetics, but not over the mass and conditioning. And yes, when you have mass and conditioning plus aesthetics, you should be rewarded. But in
Mhm.
my view, if you're just aesthetic and off or slightly off, you shouldn't be the guy with striated glutes. So that's why I believe if this guy would nail conditioning, it would be a sight to see, and it is such a pity he doesn't keep
Unfortunately,
it.
we see this all the time. Usually, very rarely do we see something where it all comes together. You know, like most Mr. Olympias have flaws, and the people
Yeah,
that usually like we think that don't have flaws, like I one of my top names and one of my favorite bodybuilders, Lionel Bayeki, never able to nail it, but he had all the potential. Hassan, very good potential, never able to nail it.
right.
Do you guys think maybe it's just like when certain things come easy, it's perhaps hard to adhere? Is because I've heard Hassan may have a kidney issue as well. I don't know if that's true. That would like make a little more sense as
Yeah,
why he
yeah,
doesn't want to push.
yeah. I mean,
So you've heard the same?
no, I'm saying that I don't know of that, but if he's unable, like from a health perspective,
Mhm.
to nail the conditioning, I totally understand that. But if it's up to him, it's such a pity he doesn't.
Mark, what is your Dr. Mark? What is your analysis of the situation?
Well, the fact of the matter is he's just not pushing it, like you said. He's
Yeah, I guess that
either
is true one
he
way
was a
or
pro
another.
bodybuilder, good enough to place high, good enough to even win some shows, but he's not gonna see his potential, not like this, and it seems this year they're thinking, "What you got and what you're bringing is not even good enough for first call-out material." So I think it's if this physique hit the scene right now, we never seen it before, I think he'd be placing higher than he did.
I,
I just think they're
yeah.
tired of it. You're not getting any better. We're putting you down because he's got a great physique. He
Mhm.
doesn't even have a big, like, huge belly.
Yeah,
It's
not this
Yeah,
time around,
somewhat
no.
somewhat
you,
in check compared to some guys.
Sure.
you nailed that, Mark. I mean, it's as you said, it first time when someone comes up, the wow factor and the fact that you didn't see that before, it certainly helps you on the placings. I think
Yep.
this will happen to Michael Krizo, who was a couple of years ago the new sensation in town, and now everybody kind of forgets him. At Prague Pro last year, almost everybody had Rubiel ahead of him, and you nailed that, Mark. It's exactly like you said. Yeah.
There is recency bias for sure. I definitely the judges, and I don't even think this is necessarily correct. In fact, we always hear like Tyler, other judges always say we judge what's on that day, what's on the stage that day. But I
Mhm.
see so many times that they do cite, well, he improved from last year. Well, he improved from last year, and I get that, and I get that they want to reward it.
Yeah.
Right or wrong, that does seem to be what they do, and they'll also negatively punish that. I think that has been a very consistent theme this year. Nick Walker, I don't want to say getting humiliated, but getting Martin Fitzwater getting that close to Nick Walker does say something. And I think that is a punishment without going a little too far. I think something like this is a good situation. I think they do want to see guys nail it, and if especially if they're not fitting the current mold of at least like a baseline level of fairly high aesthetics.
Yeah.
I just thought of this other guy. Uh, because I pulled up the top five, but I didn't even see him close to the top five. Does anybody know where Phil Clahart placed? Hmm,
Phil placed 13th.
That's tough. He was
Got my
last at
cheat
the
sheet.
Olympia last year, but he
Yeah, he
was
was.
at the Olympia.
16. Was there 16 guys at the Olympia?
15 because Ross didn't finish.
So he placed dead last at the Olympia.
Yeah. I don't know if there's
He
I
says
think
he's gonna win the Tampa. Is it the Tampa he said he's gonna win?
I saw Vlad is also doing Tampa and he was 13, so many places ahead of him, ahead of Phil.
Vladdy? Vladdy was second, right?
Yes, and
Yeah.
then John De La Rosa will be doing Tampa as well, and
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, yes. I did.
he's
I
a
wasn't sure
judging
if that was the
favorite.
show.
The judges just
What
seem to really like John.
what about Hunter? What show is he gonna do?
He's doing those 2 European shows at the end of
Yeah,
the year.
he's doing like a big, not
The
is it the
UK Pro,
big
and
man?
I don't know if it's a big man show. It may be, but on the schedule, it's just called UK Pro and then the
Oh,
Italy
okay,
Pro. I think Italy comes first, though.
okay.
I don't even know what Phil really looked like. Well, here's
Yeah, it's when there's that many guys, right? He
he is
kind of
doing Tampa. He is doing Tampa.
yeah. He's coming back with a vengeance.
You know,
He said,
certainly he has a good physique. Like especially like age aside, like from the side chest, really good. Even the front double, like I saw it back here,
yeah.
it's certainly not as bad as I anticipated because usually I give him a lot of shit for the stomach, but
Well, at his age too, right? That's the
yeah,
first, like
that's
the
the first thing to
fresh
go. Yeah.
six packs you see. The younger guys, they just don't have that. Even in the 30s and then the 40s, it gets worse.
Yeah.
But his back, he's got a great back.
He certainly does actually. That was
Yeah.
actually kind of missing at the show. I didn't see too many great backs. We'll get into it, but um he's very good from most angles that don't showcase his waist.
Agree.
which is a lot of them, but I just think he's way too too much in the front lat and the front double. They're just first impression shots and they're important ones
Yeah.
as well.
There was
Um
a lot of big waistlines I found at this show,
yeah,
which I
yeah.
should have I should have mentioned when you said, so I should have said, yeah, I've seen some bigger
You've seen some what do you call them? Triple double
because you
bubble gum?
mentioned the front lat spread, and I seen a front lat spread that wasn't the best from
Mm.
the second place guy.
Well, I have my thoughts about that as well. Let's get
Yeah.
into the top 5.
Hutchison looked great. Hutchison looked great.
I heard he was overlooked.
Well, he got a good spot. 5th.
But a lot of people, he wasn't the first call out initially, I think, or
Oh,
maybe
okay.
at the end.
Yeah.
Again, I didn't watch, I didn't pay for it. Florin, what do you think about up and comer Jordan Hutchinson? Did some shows last season, but now he's very complete, no?
Yeah, man. I'm keeping an eye on this guy. Uh, he needs to prove himself. He's got the goodies. So I'm definitely keeping an eye on this guy. But
Yeah,
for now, I don't think he was overlooked. I think the top four
Yeah.
was clear at this show.
okay. I
Yeah.
can't speak to that too much. From what I see on his own, with that completeness, guys that are smaller but complete always look better on their own.
I
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
I know.
that's the
You wonder why, and then you see them next to somebody so much thicker, and it's like, okay, I get it.
Yeah. And then let's see, who was
Nathan placed right ahead of him.
Indiana boy? One of our
And
own. One
he's
of our
similar.
he I saw them doing the guest posing. They looked
He's from your
identical.
hometown?
No, home state. I could drive. He owns a gym in Indy, American Muscle Factory. I can drive an hour and be there.
Huh. Neat.
stuff.
I got to drive an hour anyway to get to civilization
Well, that's what happens when
from
you live
where
in
I'm at.
Canada.
Well, not most places. I'm way up in the mountains.
Let's see here. No video, no. But he looked basically Jordan, maybe a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. I can see the argument for these two flipping around just because they're so similar.
Yeah, you'd be worth a comparison, actually.
Huh.
For you to do, not me.
Are you saying I am only relegated to the B tier comparisons?
Hey, you know what comparison I was just working on? Dave Palumbo versus Jorlin Vieira. You want to look up Jorlin Vieira?
Well, how do you spell his name?
Jorlan Vie.
I think I found it.
There you go.
I
There
better
you go.
search bodybuilder just in case you're leading me astray.
No, this one guy's been
Oh,
requesting this for months now on my channel.
Mark,
And
he's
he's
an aesthetic
finally,
god. Mark, he's on SoundCloud.
well, he looks good in that picture.
He's on SoundCloud, bro. Oh, I've seen him. I think I've seen this particular photo on Instagram.
He placed like dead last at a Chicago Pro in the 212, and that's it.
Oh yeah, Mark. What did you do at the
Well,
Chicago
no,
Pro?
but they keep on. I know I haven't done anything, but yeah, this guy's been requesting this one, and it never wins the poll. It always loses, and it lost again. But I'm finally gonna do it for the guy. It got like 9%. I
You're
let
gonna
the
have
poll.
to include some of his SoundCloud music.
I don't know what SoundCloud is.
I think you can play it too because it's not copyrighted, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I already made the video. I was just about to
Oh
post it. That's why I said I almost finished it. It's sitting there waiting for me to post.
no, no.
I gotta.
A real video connoisseur like Florin here, he would have taken the SoundCloud and then put it in the background of the video throughout the video.
Well, you can't compare our knowledge with that. He's light years ahead of me.
Yeah, I know. He does the Florin
He's
does
got a
the
Zippo. He's got a Zippo, and I'm running around with rubbing two sticks together.
exactly.
Which
Oh,
is why he's so good.
I hope I'm not disclosing anything. Florin, did you make Mark? I think you told me that Florin made your logo.
Yes, he did. He
Man,
made the Marks Max Muscle logo, which you see back there. That's Hacksaw Jim Duggan, by the way. But
Florin,
yeah,
I'll
Yeah,
commission you to make
that
my logo.
he made that logo for me.
that most
I need
muscular
another one.
that most muscular is iconic, man.
It
And
certainly is.
with the
I actually dieted for that and thought it was like such a waste of time. It's from a tag team match we did. Me and my partner was standing right next to me, and we were doing the big flex.
Mhm.
But then years later, I used it. But he hired a photographer and everything, so she had all the lighting perfect.
Mhm.
So I owe it to that as well. Why I looked, and I did dye it up.
No,
yeah, you were pretty conditioned then.
it's a good what do you call it, profile picture, I think. Like I immediately can identify. It's very identifiable. Mine's just kind of, well, I made mine in AI. But
It,
yours is
it
very unique.
yours sticks out as well.
Mark, don't flatter me, please.
No, but it's big. It's simple. Should add some flowers on it. Something.
True. True.
I think SUPERSETMAN's is the most iconic though.
I actually think it is a very good logo. I think I'm gonna commission DC to sue you though, and then and then
Well, I
I'll
don't think
knock
they
you out of the
can.
competition because what, international?
No, I just it's not. That's not very nice if they did that.
Mm. Well, I don't know if you ever heard someone wanted to put Spider-Man on their kid's tombstone because he died, right? He had like cancer or something. That was a kid, and Disney sued the parents.
Yeah.
Actually, there was a wrestler that got sued because he was Spider. He was Arachnid Man or something like
Oh, that's
that.
completely different. Arachnids aren't just spiders.
No, but they still they got rid of the gimmick because Marvel was suing them.
That's a stretch. That is
Marvel,
certainly a stretch.
Hulk Hogan. Any video you tape, you have a Hulk Hogan, and it says on the back, any reference to Hulk Hogan is copyrighted by Marvel Comics. They always owned that name
I
because
didn't know
it's
he.
really. They don't anymore, but they used to.
Well, we actually were talking over the weekend. You didn't see Hulk Hogan at the RNC.
Oh yeah, it's like what's the RNC?
I know this always takes a turn politically, but he was
I
there.
saw that.
You did? You did?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was there
He
at
likes his
the
politics.
he was there at the Republican National Convention, and he gave a speech hyping Trump up, and it was like one of the crowd's favorites. Apparently, I wasn't there, but he was like, he did the whole bit where he's like screaming Trumpomania, we're gonna win, and
He
ripping off
ripped the
his shirt.
shirt and everything.
Yeah, exactly. He had a Trump Vance t-shirt on. I'm surprised they didn't hire you to do the speech, Mark.
Me?
Yeah, why not?
Well, I'm not. I don't talk. Sorry, I don't talk politics or anything like
I don't
that.
think he did either.
Yeah.
Who,
He
Hogan?
was he
Yeah,
was
yeah,
in character. He was Hulk Hogan.
So he was pro Trump though.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 See,
That's
I don't like giving my opinion whether I think Trump's tyrannical fascist and terrible, or that he's the greatest president ever since
You could
JFK.
be both. I think that one may get me canceled depending on who's watching this, but
Yeah.
that was a joke. That was a joke.
Disclaimer.
So let's see here. Nathan Epler, to round this out, I'm just reading this now. He was a 212 guy, Mark, you can correct me on this, placed
Nope,
top
he was.
5 top 5 at the Olympia in
Was
like
it
2021.
Fifth or sixth?
I think it was
I
within
think
the
it,
top 5, so I would say 5th.
yeah, I think you're right, Bev.
And then he says I was probably around 227 here, which is about 13 to 14 pounds stage weight in less than 2 years. And I've been watching this guy specifically because, of course, he's like by default, he is the biggest name in Indiana bodybuilding. But I asked him to be on the podcast and he left me undelivered. So
Oh.
we'll maybe if I tag him enough and he'll see this, he'll be interested. So Nathan, if you're listening, please.
If he knows you're talking about Trump, he'll come on.
Yeah, actually, he's actually. Did you know that? Did you know he's a fan
Of Trump?
Yeah.
You do, and you're trying to let the cat out of the bag. Trump.
I'll say it every day.
I just lost half my subscribers.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's funny. I just think it's so absurd. The whole American political system, like Florin, you probably watch it for fun, if anything.
Man, I'm watching American politics more than Romanian politics, I admit. It's for 2 reasons. One, because the funny one, because yeah, it's indeed fun and interesting from this perspective. But second, what happens in America impacts the whole world. So from like the bigger picture, it's pretty important what happens there. But it's a lot of shit happening in America right now, and
it's pretty funny.
Yeah, and I don't know if you're reading comments from Europeans or especially Eastern Europeans. It's pretty different and maybe absurd, some of the things that happen there, but I don't want to go too deep into that.
You guys arrested Andrew Tate, my hero.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't him.
It wasn't
SUPERSETMAN.
It was certainly. It was. Who else are they going to get to arrest the top G, Andrew Tate?
You.
Sorry, man.
Mark, are you a fan of the top G? You should do a comparison with Andrew Tate. No lie, you should do a comparison with Andrew Tate.
Any names like that come into the like YouTube videos and all this and that, I'm like, I get so tired of it.
Well, you compare like guys that aren't necessarily bodybuilders first. Like you've compared Mike O'Hearn is technically a bodybuilder first, but he's more like a model, if anything.
He has a repertoire of the 8 mandatory shots, though.
Yeah, that's true.
It's pretty hard. Like I've done comparisons with The Rock.
Yeah,
you can see him hitting the front double by, and
sure.
But I don't know the guy you're talking, Andrew
Tate.
I've never seen him do the mandatory shots.
You don't watch enough. You don't watch enough Andrew Tate.
No, I don't watch any. My brother's always talking about him, but sorry, Florian.
He said that bodybuilding is gay.
That's
there
true.
You go. There you go.
Lauren, did you do a video on that?
No.
I saw someone clip that and they were like, bodybuilding is gay. Get my Tupperware, eat my 6 meals, like flex in front of men.
Chris Dickerson.
Oh, I always forget that. Yeah, he's certainly the only gay and out Mr. Olympia. I don't know if there were any other gay ones.
There's a video I made. There's a website that tells you whether they're straight or gay.
Just for bodybuilding or just celebrities?
Yeah, no, just for bodybuilding.
Oh, well, I think that's my.
I made the video. No, there's a little line underneath their name, and if they're straight, it's a blue line. If they're gay, it's a rainbow.
Oh,
yes. I'm telling you right now. Go look that up.
What is it called?
Guys, by the end of this podcast, we are gonna get canceled.
Well, no, and I made the video about it. I said
there's a gay database for bodybuilding.
Yes. Musclememory.com.
Oh, I've been there because they have the.
I use it all the time. Look at
you show the placings.
Yep. I made the video. I'm like, let's check somebody that we know is straight. I go, let's check Lou Ferrigno. Yeah, blue line. Lou's blue.
I'm not getting the.
Right
Oh,
there's your line.
yep.
Rainbow line.
Well, let's do it. Yeah, who is without a doubt
Aaron Baker. Aaron Baker was a little bit flamboyant.
I don't think you can say that anymore, Mark.
What? Flamboyant?
Aaron Baker, he's gay.
I heard he came out of the closet years later and said he was straight.
I don't really like. Admittedly, I don't care. I just think it's
No, I don't care either. I wouldn't be able to talk about it if it bothered me. I don't care.
No,
I wrestled
I
for
think it's
years.
extremely funny
of
that this even
several
exists.
gay guys that I was friends with.
Yeah, my point. So
Hold on, I'm going to search my own name.
No, you're not in there. But check somebody like Arnold or Lou that you know.
Arnold Schwarzenegger doesn't come up under Arnold.
There's the last name right there.
Am I blind?
That's on
no,
my shirt.
that's not there.
There. Blue line.
Solid blue.
Yep.
Solid blue.
That's a dark blue right there.
Yeah, how do they test this?
Just
How
hearsay.
do I fact check this?
Yeah, it has to be hearsay.
Hearsay.
Is Andrew Tate on here?
No. Only for pro bodybuilders.
Oh.
And I think NPC athletes like Dave Palumbo would be on there. I think.
Imagine like someone competes at a local show, but they're still in the closet, but somehow Muscle Memory knows and they get outed from being on Muscle Memory.
They probably just got somebody back there who has real good gaydar or whatever. They can tell. Just show him a picture. Yes. He's straight or gay. Both. Well, give him both.
Okay.
So what do you want to talk next?
That happened.
He'll start talking religion next. Dylan.
I know that we talk about everything on this podcast except for bodybuilding. Does he have a nickname? I was about to say like the German something.
Tim
German
Budesheim?
German dad. Tim Budesheim. I saw also a lot of comments that said Tim was overlooked.
Yeah, I saw that as well, yeah.
Do you agree?
He always is.
I mean, to some extent, I liked him more than second place. Second place disgusted me.
I mean, I have more winning, but 2, 3, and 4 can be shifted around.
Yeah, I guess this is a good time to get into the video. Let's see here. Just like standing relaxed. Actually,
Epler there? That's Epler, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
As you can see,
he does look smaller.
This is prejudging, right? Because the tanning for Mo is
very light, I would imagine.
Yeah.
But so I guess we can get to second and first now because I kind of want to talk about them in conjunction. The winner here is on the left, Mohamed Foda. Mo Foda, and then second, Vlad Suoruchko. So Vlad competed last in 2022, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he was at like the big man or something. The Mr. Big.
He was at the Olympia that year, did not place.
Are you sure?
2022, yeah. Because it was the clown car. You had a bunch of people there.
2022 had 30 and something.
I just didn't think he competed at the Olympia before.
Vitor Boff was at the 2022 Olympia.
Yeah. I just didn't think Vlad competed at the Olympia.
He trying to say something?
He did. No. You're always right when this happens. he won an Italy show, I remember. He won the Yamamoto, Italy or something like that.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and you're probably right. I just don't recall him on the Olympia stage.
I get like Florin, I know you're going to say he's a freak, and I know you already said you had Mo winning, and like he's a freak and whatnot, but the waist, I saw some people say it can go either way, and I said it's not going to. I get that they've been wishy-washy on the whole, how much does aesthetics matter, but this is just too much for me. Is it too much for you?
I have to admit that like I mentioned, I like mass monsters, and sometimes I get annoyed when I see so many people insisting with aesthetics, but at this show I understood the argument because everybody was like the top 4 was on and they were big, but it didn't look good because there it reminded me of the 2010s. The
Mhm.
midsections were a bit sloppy, and I saw the argument and for aesthetics. So I think I get the argument better now.
And it's not
Yeah.
just like the waist for me. He has very weird proportions, like very undersized triceps, and he did tear one of them. I'm aware of that, but still, they're undersized. The delts are massive. He just looks like, I called Lee Haney wrong. I called him out for being wrong about the whole Frankenstein bodybuilder thing, but he is certainly one that I definitely kind of think looks like he was stitched together. He doesn't really have any flow at all.
Yeah. The way I see it, it's nothing too much you can do about the triceps, right? But the
Sure.
midsection, you can hold it in check. I mean, it's up to you. You can make it uh narrower than it is. I
Mhm.
mean, nobody asks for that. Like for Nick Walker, same thing. But as long as you keep it in check, I have no problem. But it wasn't the case on the Chicago stage
Yeah.
with Vlad. I think he could have done a better job with that. So
Um,
despite the generic size and the width of his waist, the fact that he didn't hold it in check all the time, that's the real issue in my eyes.
so I know like everyone is always like Tim gets held back because of the waist, but like I have him taking the first two front shots against uh Vlad, especially because Vlad, even in the front lat spread, which I think was winnable, his posing was really off, but I would have been actually okay with Tim placing a little higher. Would you concur, Mark?
Yeah. There's a there's a there's a few shots where you can say, okay, he's bigger, like
Sure.
the lags, things of that nature, but it's the overall appeal of the physique, I guess. In your 8 mandatory shots, I mean, you might go with Vlad at the end of the day, but
Mm.
that's no, the front lat spread. Actually, he looks better in the front lat spread in this video than he did in the pictures that I've seen.
Yeah, I
But
think it's just
Vlad,
because we
but
kind of could see
l-
all of
l-
it because his posing was really bad.
yeah, yeah. But look at the rear lat spread. Tim's back is awesome.
Yeah, Tim also gets a little bit of hate for having a lackluster back. No one had
His
a
back,
very complete back.
his back double's not the best, but his rear lat spread,
Yeah, that's pretty good. His quads are pretty good too. They're not beating Vlad's, I would say, but
no, no,
they're very good. They're
no.
very good.
Vlad, yeah, Vlad and Mo had pretty darn good quads.
I'm a big fan of Mo. I want to see if I can bring up his individual routine because we can talk about him in isolation because I thought it was pretty clear that he had won, and I didn't want to say that going in because I didn't want to appear biased because he's one of my favorite. I liked him as soon as I saw him at Romania, but
Yeah, you got fifth
oh,
Romania or something.
SUPERSETMAN posted this.
Who's this guy?
Yeah, Uh, terrible channel. I've seen better.
No, it isn't. It's a great channel.
You're right. I can't wait to plagiarize it.
That's the idea of the archive, man. I mean, everybody can use that as long as you don't get copyrighted from someone else. But I'm changing the speed and the angles and everything. It shouldn't be a problem. It's
It
fair
is
use.
certainly one of the best ideas I've seen come out of the bodybuilding comparison thing in general. Like, you're doing us all a great service. I know Mark doesn't use videos, but I'm sure if he's in a pinch, he wouldn't mind having this available to screenshot and use the pictures as well.
Oh,
And I know
I watched them
reference.
just for the comparison. No, well, it's just you see the thumbnail, and it's like, I would like to see those two
Yeah. And you look him up
posed
on
next
muscle
to
memory to see if he's gay.
couple of
And
rainbows, couple of rainbows.
yeah. The thing about this archive that it's already mentioned, but every video is in perfect sync with any other. So if you
Yeah,
put this video with any
yeah.
other, you're gonna get the front double, the every pose in sync.
So you change them all. So
Everything is
I don't think that you'll have a problem with that. I think a lot of it's people themselves that are gonna give you a
yeah.
strike. And you're a nice guy. You're helping bodybuilding. You're not making these videos hurting bodybuilding. I could understand something like that. somebody
But it
dragging.
wouldn't be the first time. Like you saw what happened with Terminator.
What a
Yes,
shame.
yeah,
What a
yeah.
shame.
He didn't get oh, he did get one strike, didn't he? Yeah.
I think he got his second as well, and he was on his way to his third because he had done videos, multiple videos about the topic. The
Yeah,
Arnold, if I'm
yeah,
not mistaken.
you're right. You're probably right. He probably did get a couple.
And he was already on the ropes. He was just like, I'm not enjoying it as much as I used to
Yeah,
anyway. So this is a
yeah.
good excuse, which it's not.
Hey,
I don't think it's entirely like the Arnold's fault. I think was the one he was having trouble with. But
was
I
it the
think
Arnold? Yeah.
they've changed their tune recently. They realize how much a benefit having this free coverage is for them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
free publicity.
exactly. I don't really mind. It's not like they were blatantly showing. And the thing is, he would only do videos after it happened. Like it wasn't like he was
Yeah.
live streaming it live. So after the
No,
fact, I don't know why anyone would care. No one's buying a replay.
no.
Exactly.
I'll never get that.
Yeah. I don't understand why people charge for the replays. Good. I can't. I bring this up every podcast. Florin, do you buy bodybuilding shows?
Man, I actually do, but old
Okay.
ones.
Oh,
Like,
like a GMV bodybuilding video, like of the
yeah,
90s
like,
Olympias? Okay.
yeah, I like to watch that. I mean, I prefer, I have to be honest, I prefer watching a old bodybuilding show, like a major show, than watching some of the new or like nowadays shows.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm buying from time to time, and I have a collection actually on my drive with shows and with I actually had this archive on my drive, and I said let's put it up there online for
Sure.
everyone.
Yeah. Um, I I like to sit on here a lot and just absolutely complain about how bodybuilding shows are expensive, and I
But
haven't
that
talked to you about it yet. And it's just like this Chicago Pro, for example. You know, usually they do. Mark, stay with me. Stay with me. Stay with me. So they there was like two amateur shows going on because there was like the Chicago Amateur. I'm sure that's not what it was called, but then they also had the Wings of Strength amateur show,
Yeah.
and it was like usually it's like amateur shows, open shows. You usually buy the weekend, and
Mm-hmm.
like if it's a huge price tag, it is what it is. But they moved the schedule around in such a way, and I won't get into specifics, but they moved it around in such a way that you basically had to buy the entire weekend. But the problem is they split it up in such a way that most people would just end up buying the Sunday show, which was $30. But if you wanted everything, including classic and men's physique, which had big names like Sadiq, um, that I'm sure some people would want to see despite how he actually did, you would be spending 55 USD to pay for it. And what do you think about the state of bodybuilding live streams?
man, you can imagine if you get bored watching the Olympia, how bored can you get watching some of these minor shows? Like everyone complains every year that they have to watch through all the divisions and all the stuff at the Olympia. Watching these minor shows, it's even worse, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I don't know. This is like already business related. I I don't know exactly all the details, but something has to change if they want to make like bodybuilding more mainstream. But I'm not sure they want to do that, or probably they think it never will be
Mm-hmm.
mainstream. So that's why they know that the fan base, the niche that they have, will always pay for the Olympia and major shows, and the numbers are there, and they are good with the numbers, and that's a business already for them.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I like Arnold's approach on this. Like he always wanted to make the bodybuilding like to be more mainstream, to get it on TV and stuff like that. And it's ironic because the 1980 Olympia was supposed to get on TV,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and because of the backlash, it never got to be aired. So
Yeah.
somehow Arnold made a lot for bodybuilding, but he may also be the one that stopped when stopped it when it was on its tracks to get the mainstream.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
coming back for getting back to the idea of the live streams, and the prices are high, man, and especially you saw a lot of fans come from outside of the US. And trust me, $50 is much more where I live than in the US.
Mhm.
Like it's much more here. And it's much more in the Middle East where all those big fans of bodybuilding come from. So $50 there, it's a lot.
Mhm.
So I think it's a it's BS. The prices are too big, and the for us the fans, the business model, it could be better for sure.
Gotcha. Just wanted to get your opinion because that's like me trying not to mention the price of bodybuilding. Impossible. Anyway, I really do appreciate all of these archives, these posing videos. Very, very helpful, revolutionizing. I haven't done anything near as important as this, besides
The-
my judging system, which is perhaps the best. I hate to break it to you guys, but I don't know if you've seen Project Bodybuilding's judging system.
I've seen that.
Florian has one like that too, though. He's broke it down.
Yeah, I stole it.
Oh,
Part of it.
Man, I think I've told you once this what you're doing different is having these lengthy comparisons. Like,
Mhm.
man, you go deep into details. You have like one hour of comparison or a review of a show. Your video is 1 hour long.
Yeah, I think it was. I do have a 50, almost an hour long video.
Yeah.
Of the what was it? The collaboration that we all did.
Yeah. Yeah,
Best
yeah,
Mr.
yeah, yeah,
Olympia.
yeah, that one.
the
Yeah.
Five
And
Guys.
Yes,
yeah,
and I was like, oh, this is gonna be fun. And it was by the end of it 40 pages because I script everything. It was 40 plus pages.
Wow, you script everything?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
and that thing, it's so appreciated for the hardcore fans, but just like bodybuilding, I told you this once, just like bodybuilding is not getting mainstream, you're not gonna get too many views because most of the viewers are not don't have the patience, man. You see that
Yeah.
my Blitz videos get so popular, I'm surprised, and I want to hit that niche. Like I have 1 minute long comparisons now, and they get very
Mhm.
popular because
Superset. Hooah!
people nowadays don't have patience anymore. You with TikTok and everything, like everything is fast. I also have on YouTube, and if you search on the archive on YouTube, there I have like 50 plus videos there. The Instagram
Yeah,
is a
Oh,
bit
okay.
YouTube's what I'm watching the
behind.
YouTube ones more than the Instagram
I'm
ones.
not gonna pull up my YouTube. I get flamed for my suggestions every time.
But the YouTube ones I watch all the time. Those are the ones that I watch.
Florin, do you know who Big Time Rush is?
No,
No,
right?
okay. Well,
Should I?
they saw I pulled up my YouTube one time and people saw that I was listening to Big Time Rush. It was Big Time Rush was a boy band that had their own show that was on the same channel as like SpongeBob, iCarly, shows you may be familiar with. And it was like they had their own show, but they also made music. And I was getting flamed for listening to this.
Go incognito, man, on the browser.
Yeah, I probably should. I probably. Oh, Jake and I reacted to one of your videos last podcast.
Oh, by the way, what I noticed on Instagram, man, the fans are way more harsher on
I
Instagram.
see that too. I don't know if you see that,
Really?
Mark. They
Man,
they
I
hate
get
Superset Man.
it's yeah, hateful comments. Like yeah, you got that on YouTube as well, but not as
Yeah,
often. Like
I'm the opposite because I don't have many followers on Instagram, so that's probably
No, like
why.
this one here. Jake and I looked at it yesterday. It's just like, thank God you're not a real judge. Like,
yeah, yeah.
no one
Oh
ever
yeah,
said.
you'll get that. You'll get that.
Yeah,
You'll get that.
exactly. But
You'll
it's
get that
just
no
like,
matter what because you got do a poll. It'll be like 40-60. So there's no way you can if you make a decision, you're going to have either half
Yeah.
or less than half of the people telling you you're blind.
mhm.
So it's
It's like with Trump. That's
Oh
why
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, my
yeah,
idol.
you can't win for trying. I watched your video that you did on Phil Heath and Ramy. And I thought that was very interesting. Showed a little superset history. Like not this
Oh,
one, but
on YouTube,
the
yeah.
YouTube. Yes, you talked about your when you. That's like one of the first ones you watched.
Yeah, 2017 Olympia got me into it, man.
It's
Like
it's very interesting.
I'm sure Kenson will upload the podcast I had with him, and I talk in depth about that on that podcast. So yeah, 2017 got me into it, man.
Someone said Rami 8, Phil 0. You don't know how to compare. Like it's just very obvious that Rami is not winning 8 poses against anybody.
Yeah, yeah. Phil is at least winning the back double. I
At
mean,
minimum, yeah, exactly.
if you want to
He's
give
a lot
give
drier.
Rami the back lat spread because he's so much wider, okay. But the
Look at the
back double
detail
has to
though.
be,
There's a lot of detail in that back of Phil's.
yeah.
Not even Ronnie wins every single pose against Phil Heath. So I don't really the Rami love is out there, which
Ronnie will never win the side triceps against Phil. Like,
no, definitely not. And depending on the year, abs and thighs as well.
man, did you guys see I think I made a video on that with Phil was asked about him in his prime versus Ronnie in his prime.
They were
I
talking to Phil
haven't.
about it.
Was
Yeah,
it?
it was at a podcast. I forgot
Yeah,
the show, but like this interviewer asked Phil if what would happen if him in his prime would go against Ronnie in his prime, and Phil gave a very interesting answer. Like he said, if you take like cards with his best 5 versions against Ronnie's best 5 versions, Phil said he's gonna at least win one, and
I agree.
that's very interesting.
I've said
Phil's.
that before too. I've
Yeah, it
actually
depends
said
on the combination. Yeah.
yeah, and I think maybe Mark, you were talking to me about this, but you were like, I don't know if this was you actually, but you were like, no, that's not gonna happen. You don't know how good Ronnie was.
Yeah. I get the
You get emotional.
Coleman. I used to be a Colemanite,
Oh, really?
so it comes out. Yeah, it comes out sometimes. It's terrible to be a Colemanite.
Mm-hmm.
It's terrible. No,
Insufferable.
they're 2002. There'd be a few Phil Heaths that would beat 2002.
Yeah,
Mm,
but I think, yeah, for me, for everybody, I think Ronnie is undoubtedly in his prime the best. Like at least when you compare that when how we're doing like pose for pose, Ronnie's never gonna lose. I mean, he was that good.
my dad, Martin Fitzwater's pretty good. I think he can beat both.
Oh,
People. I've done a lot of videos on Martin Fitzwater, and I'm like Paul Revere. I don't know. I guess maybe neither of you know who that is, but it's just
Paul
like
Revere. Yeah, he was the blabbermouth, wasn't he, or
exactly.
something?
Yeah, it's just like I'm just like no, Martin's coming to destroy everybody. It's like
Yeah,
I have
I
like
heard that was a big lie.
I think so. I think partly it is a myth. That Paul Revere actually did that.
Yeah,
I'm
they
not a
just tell you
historian.
what to believe. The winner writes the history.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. But let's switch gears. Chicago Pro. Oh, let's give it a letter grade. I don't know if you I think I'm being so unfair. Florian, do you when you get graded in grade school, do you have letter grades?
No letter numbers, 1 to
Numbers
10.
well sometimes we have numbers too. Some it is up to discretion, but it's just like our numbers
But I get
correspond
it.
to a letter.
A to F, right?
Yes, yeah. So what would you rate the Chicago Pro out of the show so far this year?
I mean, considering the lineup, because you can get a better lineup than what you have, I'd have to give it at least a B, but maybe an A because guys were on point. I mean,
B plus.
aside from Hassan,
Well,
uh,
yeah.
like the top four and top five, the guys nailed it. I mean, maybe like we discussed, maybe the midsection a bit, but as long as they were conditioned and they were full, I mean, that's what we want to see.
Mark, your letter grade for the Chicago Pro.
Now, you mean like where Florian was saying everybody's in shape, things of that nature,
Just
or the
level
lineup
of
compared to other lineups? And
honestly, how much you enjoyed it. I
oh,
it's that's the best way I could describe it, really.
I give
Then
it a
I will change my grade then.
no, I give it.
Florian's like F. This show sucked.
I don't give it an F, but I give it a D.
Really? You guys
Yeah.
must hate bodybuilding. Florian, what's
No,
yours?
I don't. I was just more impressed with other shows this year. I was
Sure.
very
Yeah,
impressed with other shows
yeah,
this
I
year.
do agree.
Florian, what are
Like,
you giving it? Like a C minus? D?
like for example, we're gonna discuss the Dubai Pro next, right?
And
That's
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 Yeah,
S.
that's
I
That's
gonna
mean
A
that's
be.
plus.
exciting, right? That is a potential A for the lineup.
Sure.
If we're talking the lineup here at the Chicago, I mean,
It's-
the winner of this show will he get top 10 at the Olympia? I
No.
mean, so I'm gonna probably agree with Mark, a C or D.
Or an M.
Well, as a true
We used to get different
Oh
letters.
yeah. I had those in kindergarten.
E B
Not to be
G
not
G M.
Oh no, we had like E for exceptional.
Excellent.
M, yeah, exceptional.
M was minimal. That's a D.
Yeah, M was basically like average. I forget the word they used, but they were meeting standards. M stood for meeting standards. And then
Yeah.
C was like could use work. And then there was like basically P and it's just like poor performance, like this kid needs to be held back.
That's a U. We got
Oh,
U's unacceptable.
Oh,
oh,
unacceptable. Yeah.
Yeah, U's. We got
Too soft
G's were
nowadays. You can't say
good.
that.
BG's were very good. So a VG was a B and a G
yeah.
was a
Now,
C.
by the way, now I remember that in primary school we had that. Like we had very good, good,
Yep. Yep.
sufficient, and insufficient.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Sufficient. Yeah, that would be like
That was the gold standard.
D. That's D.
So let's go to Dubai, and this is actually the lineup from what if I'm not mistaken. This isn't official. Let me I'll check the list right now. I don't think it would be out.
No.
Uh,
I just looked, but I don't know. You could.
I swear if it's on here. It's not. Okay.
Uh,
Also, no live stream yet. I'm asking you guys just personally, do you know the live stream?
No, no, I don't know.
I usually
Okay.
find them like the day before.
I'm getting worried. I'm certainly getting worried. I imagine they'll have
Well,
one, but I'm certainly wish they would have rolled it out by now. But anyway,
still got a few days.
we have a big show. I didn't know Big Akeem was going to be in this show, but apparently he has expressed concern. I guess this is basically like the expressed concern list. So you have Nathan, Beiruz, Bonac. They went head to head, and they all want
Which
to show up.
yes, that's the three matchup that we all
That's
want.
That's really
basically a rematch at this point.
But
Um,
nobody can say that they're supreme in this.
exactly.
He
Um,
beat a guy that beat him, but he beat him.
exactly.
By the way, guys, don't go on Instagram and say that Behruz is losing because all of his fans gonna.
It's
Oh,
those it's those Iranians.
I'm gonna have second thoughts on ever doing videos with him because I mean
bias.
his fans are so. I mean, I love the fact that they support their
Mhm.
heroes, but they get so biased. I mean, I have Hadi fans that think that Hadi would beat Ronnie Coleman, and they're serious with that. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Hadi,
be doing
yeah.
videos with them. I think.
Mark, do you know who this guy is down in the left-hand
Wait,
corner?
you got a name?
I'll
Is he
click through one of these. I'm gonna go with this one. Maybe that was a bit racist to assume. I don't think it's him. Oh, great. Now I have to go back. I'll find out. I'm a big fan of this X-frame. I want to find the
Yeah.
picture. I can just go. I can just
Oh,
go.
there he is. There he is. There.
So not much, not much to
No,
go
not
on.
much. Not much to go on. No.
But whatever that picture was, I was thoroughly impressed. Actually,
That
crazy
account looks like
X-frame.
an 80s bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Like what an
Yes.
80s bodybuilder would post, you know?
Exactly. So this is just part of the open lineup. We're going to get the list maybe late my time tonight or maybe tomorrow morning. Um, very stacked show, like you guys are saying. Perhaps one of the best shows of this year, if not the best. Um, we have three guys that are qualified. All three of those guys, well, I guess Beirut technically could have been to the Olympia. Akeem has been to the Olympia.
Many
Neckzilla
times.
is the next big thing. So very very early on, I guess this is actually fairly late. Who is your favorite to win the show, Florin?
Man, Rubiel is definitely a wild card. I mean,
Ah,
he can very well win it, or he can very well, I don't know, be lower than third and fourth. You don't know what to expect from him. We've only seen him once. If he's not conditioned enough, I think guys like Beirut or Nathan can expose him. Oh, not to mention Bonac,
mhm.
but I think everybody expects Rubier to win, and he should be the winner if he is on. I mean, I
I
still
would agree with that, and I don't even think he necessarily needs to be that conditioned. I really don't. He
no,
needs
he doesn't need to be off. That's what I'm saying. If
sure,
he's gonna
yeah.
be like similar to Prague, he can win it. He was very good in Prague.
Mark, would you concur with that statement? And who is your favorite?
I think it is Beirut Tabani's show to win.
One of
I think that
those.
he's in his prime right now. If he doesn't win this one, then he's
You
saying
should
I'm
quit.
losing to older guys because Nathan's at the tail end. Nathan's still good and taking nothing away from Bonac, but I think that they've both seen better days.
Okay.
And
True.
Beirut's right smack dab in his prime now, and you got Rubiel here, who's up and coming, not quite to his prime yet.
Mhm.
So I think in that sense, does that sound professional?
No, not at all.
No,
No, I think that sounds. I think
I can agree with that.
I don't know who my favorite would be. It
I
would
don't know
be
who I'd put second, third, fourth though.
no, yeah, like doing the whole thing, which is it would be just too much. I should have made a
Akeem,
pairwise.
Akeem got a
Exactly.
victory over William Bonac last time they
Akeem
competed together.
Akeem was pushing guys. He was pushing maybe Rafael Brandao at the Arnold Classic, and Rafael
Yeah,
has beaten Beirut.
I forgot about Akeem. I mean, I love Akeem.
yeah. Akeem just beat William Bonac too last time they competed. The
By the
Arnold.
way, guys, imagine Akeem with William Bonac's back, like in condition. That's Mr. Olympia right there.
I would agree.
Uh,
I would agree.
I
Um,
mean, the way Akeem looked at the Arnold at the finals with Bonac's back, I
Yeah.
think he can beat like he can he
He
can
won the
go
Toronto.
with all three Ronnie in a good comparison, I guess. I think that he is that good, Akeem. He is so good.
It's underrated. That's for sure.
Aside from the back, which is a pity, man, those guns, those quads, those the chest, everything it's on point, like peaky biceps and the side leg. I think maybe only Big Ramy has a more impressive side leg than Akeem.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see his side leg next to Rubiel's.
mm.
Okay, yeah, Rubier, yeah,
That'll be an interesting comparison, actually.
yeah. Maybe that's the matchup we want to see. Rubiel against
Hey,
Akeem.
I'd
Yeah.
be happy with that.
I think that's a fairly good matchup, actually. Mark, don't beat me to it.
No, I'd be happy with that if they were 1 and 2.
I actually don't have time to do that one. But
Oh,
I
come
hate to see
on.
that.
Mark, I
I want to
script
see them
everything. It
on.
takes me like a day to make
Oh
a
yeah,
video.
that's crazy. I can't get that past or around my wrap that around my head. How somebody
Well,
would have time to.
the problem is the videos I want to make need to at least have some structure because I could go. It's not a podcast, unfortunately, and as much as I like making longer videos, if I just
Yeah,
kept going on and on,
yeah,
I could
yeah,
talk for an hour, and I
yeah.
talk in
I
circles
know, I
basically.
know. Yeah,
Well, anyway, but side shots are going to be very interesting to see from Akeem and Rubiel. Not just the side leg.
yeah.
Like, I still think Rubiel
Their
pulls
whole
off
bodies too.
both of them. I gotta be honest. Rubiel's side
That,
shots,
yeah.
maybe the best
The
of all time.
side shots are the best shots for Rubier. He's very impressive.
His side tricep is certainly already in contention
He's
for one
best
of the
both.
best of all time. Side chest, maybe not, because you've had
It's decent.
both. Yeah, you very good, very solid.
Yeah.
But even and he's not really missing any body part. Like the back, not the best. The arms, not the best. But like they're there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
they're
certainly
there. He
showed
just needs
up.
to work. Yeah, he needs to work on displaying it.
I think some extra conditioning would help some detail on the back. I think that really is his missing component thus far.
And I still think his arms are undersized next
Yeah,
to like in relation to the rest of his body.
Would you tell him
absolutely.
that in person?
Come again?
Florin, would you tell him that in person?
No, no. He's been
I don't know. This was 2 weeks ago.
I was
here
gonna say,
when I saw this, I thought, man, this guy brought his arms up. But I told you before we went live that I saw a story on Goat Fitness, and
Mhm.
he was more depleted, and his arms were like, I still looked a bit small for me. Maybe you can check that out.
Yes, I
On
will
Goat.
actually.
shout out to Goat Fitness.
Shout out
Yeah.
to Goat Fitness, a friend of the channel. Okay.
I
Oh,
think,
I'm
eh,
late.
yeah,
Hold on.
Is that the
maybe
champion?
And he didn't post it. Was this what was on his
it
story
was,
or no? This
it
is
was
8 weeks ago.
no, it was a story with from the waist up with him doing the front double, and
Might not be there anymore.
yeah, I think it's
Oh, Rubio, yeah.
Mm. Mm. What a shame. What a shame. Because he is kind of staying under wraps. Like that update I showed was like the first thing we got. And what is it? We are a week out now. So this is technically 3 weeks out. I have to be honest. I wish he was a bit more conditioned, a bit more separated, anything. Because it's just like that extra 2%, literally a few extra days, because this guy's metabolism has to be crazy. So, like, a few extra days on the diet, a few extra low days, a few extra cardio sessions, literally like a handful. And this guy probably just changes incredibly fast. So, I hope he does his homework because it's not that much. It really isn't.
No. Oh, he looks good though.
Would you tell him that in person?
Yeah. I heard he only eats one carb meal a day.
I would believe it.
And he maintains that size. I think that's
that's
what
cool.
Cormier was saying.
I will say it is kind of relieving that he's over there in the camp. He's over there in Oxygen Gym. It's very hard to cheat on your diet there. You have
Yes.
because they're prepping all your meals for you. They
At a
tell
sight,
you
at
when
a
to
mind.
eat.
At a sight, at a mind.
Yes, exactly. And it's just like you're basically like you're doing a bodybuilding boot camp for lack of a better word. Like you have no outside
Yep.
distractions. You're
That's what
you're
you
in
got
the
to do to
thick of it.
win. There's
Some
been
guys need that.
bodybuilders. Yeah, there's been bodybuilders ruin their career. Flex Wheeler, he was over there eating donuts and this and that, they were saying, and then he
Uh,
come in soft. And it's like, well, that's why. Because he's eating donuts and this and that before a
Surely
show.
not. It must be
Yes,
like
he
a
was.
kidney issue.
Oh, well, I mean, that probably didn't help.
Did he have a kidney issue for real?
I'm I don't know. If they
Well,
do, it would be exposed with all the stuff they take, especially back then.
mm,
Cocktails.
no, they take more drugs now, Mark.
Yeah, but they were experimenting more then. They were taking a lot of
yeah.
stuff that might not necessarily help them.
I know they experiment. I've been to muscle memory.
Nowadays, it's like more they're somewhat knowledgeable, maybe.
Mm,
I don't
mm,
know. I don't even
yeah,
know anymore.
yeah.
I
You
give up.
definitely have more information nowadays, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Available.
Before we make final predictions, I do want to say, shifting gears. I don't know how much uh Florin's gonna like this because it's classic, and I
Reno
don't know how much you like classic Florin, but
likes
Brion,
classic.
Brion is apparently doing the show.
Man, I like classic as long as it's in classic.
Okay, okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Um,
He did the Dubai last year, right?
that was Terrence. Racist.
I thought he placed third in the. Maybe not.
No, 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 no. It was Terrence, Fabio, Wesley. I if
Wesley
I
placed
think
second. Oh, it was that big Fabio guy. Yeah, he looked.
yeah, yeah. And then I think it was Wesley. And then fourth was Chen Kang. He was at least very close.
Could be.
Yeah, and I think I saw someone post Chin Kang, so I don't know if he's doing this again because that would, he has a precedent of doing this show. I'm actually a big fan of Chin Kang. It's just he can't really bring it. And those big legs also probably are affecting his weight cap. I got to be honest. He should probably not train them for a full year and see what happens. Um, but I thought Breon always says, like he said last year when he was moving to the 212, he's going out with a bang. He's going to do classic shows. It's just like regular shows, just to, kind of scratch that itch before he goes. Obviously came back to classic, but now he said he's going to do that this year. I think he said he was going to do Tampa as well. He said he's going to do like 3 shows in between the Arnold and the Olympia, and then obviously move to the 212. But I'm not fully convinced. I feel like he could be sharper for a show that's, according to this, was 11 days, 9 days away or whatever.
Yeah. Looks solid.
So I don't know. Maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe he's not competing, but he's
That
there.
looks pretty sharp.
He's there with Chris. He's there with the Urs, who is now also an Oxygen Gym. Interesting as well. They should do an old school Oxygen transformation with Urs. Turn him to open.
No.
Yes.
Who told him to
Yes.
go to open? Somebody said that.
That was me.
No, I think it was Tarek.
Well, I don't like Tarek. You know that.
I know you don't like Tarek. That's awful.
And I would say that to his face.
Oh, he's a big dude.
What's he going to do? Beat me up?
He'll clobber you like that.
He might. He certainly might. But
no,
yeah,
I like him. I like him.
Breon is there in the Oxygen Gym, so I would imagine he is doing the show. I
Was that Cormier? Cormier getting on the doing
yeah.
some sets? He Cormier banging the sets, letting them know how it's done.
Chris Cormier threw up training with Dorian Yates. That's my warm
because
up.
he trains that hard. He pushed himself to that. Arnold Schwarzenegger threw up many times while I was in the gym. It was all worth it.
Florin, do you throw up in the gym?
Man, I hate throwing up. Like, I don't know how to explain this, but if I can avoid it, I'm trying to not throw up. Like
Sure.
When I was getting drunk when I was younger, like
Oh God.
I always try to not throw up because I hate it. So I never throwed up in the gym. And I hope I never will. Maybe I don't train hard enough. I don't know, but
No, I've been very,
no,
very close. I've been very
it's-
close.
doing legs,
you
I
can-
was close for a couple of times, but no, I didn't.
Yeah, it's not because you're not training hard. It's if you're training too hard for your shape that you're in, you can warm yourself up, baby yourself up to training like a madman. But if you
I would
don't
agree with that. I think that really is it.
because if you have to force yourself, say you had to save somebody's life or something, you had to do this, you'd probably end up throwing up because you're pushing yourself too hard.
I think I was closer to throwing up playing what you guys call soccer. We call it football.
I call it football.
I call it soccer.
I don't call American what do they call that? Football? That's American rugby. Why do they call it football? Their foot doesn't even touch the ball. Maybe once.
Sometimes.
That's it. Soccer, what you Americans call soccer, that's football because their foot hits the ball.
I mean, I don't watch football. I barely watch bodybuilding.
I mean, I'm as big as a fan of football as I'm of bodybuilding. I mean, they're both right here for me.
I
don't watch football or American rugby. I watch hockey.
You guys know I watch politics. That's like I'm an old man at heart, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I look at muscle memory and then I don't know, like Ben Shapiro. Mark, do you know who Ben Shapiro is?
Heard of the name, but I'm not quite.
I know who he is.
Yeah, he owns the
Ronald
libs.
Reagan was president when I was a kid.
I'm not a fan of Ben Shapiro, but that's neither here nor there.
He has that conflict with Candace Owens now, right?
I'm taking Candace's side. She's my woman.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
I got no idea. I got no I don't know whether to high five you or get mad at you. Don't know.
Let's see here. I think we'll close this out with top 5 predictions.
Isn't that
If you can,
Sabasaka or whatever? What's his name down there in the corner? I forget his name there.
which one was it? Arash? Yeah.
No. Oh.
This is him. This is
No,
him.
not that bird. The guy in the corner.
Yes, this is Arash.
The other corner.
Not to be confused with Arash.
That's a rash. This is a rash.
This guy is I'm trying not to be racist, probably Ali. All right.
That's
Smaller guy question mark? Obviously in the context. In the context, of course, but
he's in the goon light, right?
yeah, you know, I remember Nick Strength and Power used to say the goon light. I don't think you can say goon anymore.
What?
Goon? You know what that means.
Unfortunately,
It's actually a hockey reference.
It's well, Gen Z.
We're definitely getting
No,
there.
Gen Z. Well, Gen Z is you know the terms. It's brain rot terms. Like, I'm sure you know the brain rot edging.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gooning, I
Yeah.
think, is just a further step of edging, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it used to be a hockey term.
Well, you guys know what the goon light is, so I'm
Yeah, I've been in the goon light. I've certainly been in the goon light. Mark, have you been in the goon light?
I'm right by a window. It's too bright.
Mm.
You can't see my nice green light.
This guy reminds me of Mark Prince Boabang. Is that his name?
Well, yes, and there's Sabasiko or what have you. He's competing too in this show. I forget his name. Well, I'm not sure about anything.
Oh, I did want to mention Angel Calderon is going to the 212 here.
Oh,
he's going back to the 212 here
for the Olympia. I wonder.
No, he's qualified because he placed third.
Yeah, I know, but
that's
yeah,
if he does the 212 here, he'll be doing the 212 in the Olympia for sure.
That's bad news for all the guys in the 212.
Honestly, he wasn't much better in open. I got to be honest. It's just like slightly bigger. It was and for him to make the improvements he needs to, like, it's just overall size. It's not worth it.
It's in his best interest for 212.
I agree.
How do you know his best interest, Mark?
Well, I mean, thinking about like history of other competitors, where their careers went, with the tools that he has, I believe.
I want to talk.
You were just being, okay.
I want to talk about this guy. This is another.
Yeah, he's impressive, isn't he?
It's this Nick. Thou shall not be named. Tragilli coaching him, or am I thinking of another guy?
Tragilli.
Yes. Oh, what happened to my?
He used to comment on my videos.
This guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
No, he was nice.
Let's see. Imagine my channel. Let's see here.
He commented in favorable fashion. That's why I never once dissed this guy. Like Fuad. I'm nice to Fuad because he speaks about me in a good light.
Can you guys hear that?
Oh yeah, loud and clear.
Oh, he is coaching this guy.
There you go.
See, I know bodybuilding.
Yeah.
I deserve to have a Project Bodybuilding podcast.
You do.
Sure.
I'm glad.
Drinking there. Ric Flair energy drink.
Ghost.
That's a Ric Flair energy drink.
Sour pink lemonade's my favorite. You guys have this where you live? Big League Chew.
What it is? Oh,
it's chewing gum that looks like, tobacco. It's for the kids.
Yeah, it's supposed to be, yeah.
I found some at the store yesterday. I was like, oh man, I gotta get that.
What are they? They used to put it in their cheek. Jesse the Body Ventura. He spit it on Apollo Creed's foot. Chewing tobacco. He offered them some. They all said no.
Pretty bad habit. Mark, do you vape?
No. Are you kidding me?
I don't know.
No.
This guy.
I'm not. I don't even smoke cigarettes.
Yeah. Never have.
No.
Never will.
No, I don't
So
like
anyway,
cigarettes or vaping.
this guy, this is a 6 weeks out. This is posted 5 weeks ago, so it checks
It's
out.
pretty darn good.
This guy has made some improvements. I have no idea who he is. I literally only know who he is because I
He
saw him.
competed somewhere.
I'm sure he did.
No, but I thought he did pretty good too. He placed like 4th or something.
Mm. Hmm.
Was it
If you
last
say
year?
so.
Was it last year's Dubai?
It'd be the 212, so I have no idea. But I think I saw him. One of his pictures where it was at the Dubai Pro, so I'd imagine. Also, oh, this is. I thought that was his weight. I was like, Andrew Jack's 150
No,
kilograms. I was like, what?
he's lifting the weight on
I
the
saw. I saw.
Anoka row.
I did see the video. Oh, I guess this we can touch on this topic very briefly. Is Andrew Jack making the mistake by not competing here?
At the Dubai?
Yeah,
No, I think he could be better off just getting an easier qualification and then
yeah.
putting all his basket or all of the eggs in his Olympia basket.
But as Florin and I were talking, it's just one of the most perfect physiques. I want to see him as much as possible.
Well, there's that. There's that. I'm thinking more making the Olympia
Yeah.
the show.
I was I was thinking like the same thing. If this guy will ever be Mr. Olympia, he's gonna be a great ambassador only with his physique, nothing else. Like when you see his front poses, I mean that's what bodybuilding should be about, if you ask me. Even though I like mass monsters, he's like a mass monster that's also aesthetic.
Um,
He needs to nail those side poses somehow, and he's good.
yeah. Yeah, I think some thickening up would help, but he also poses very narrowly. Um, but I'm gonna ask a question which I think is a very easy one. Flex Wheeler, let's say Flex Wheeler like 93, since Andrew Jack is also technically at the start of his professional career. Um, let's say 93 Flex Wheeler versus 2023 Texas Pro Andrew Jack. Who wins?
And
I'd
because
agree.
flex was small. I mean, if we get like 97 flex, 98, 99, that's a
Then the conditioning's down, and the
true.
back,
But
and then the back's weaker.
93 flex was too small for Andrew, if you ask me.
93 Flex Wheeler was probably not even 220.
Yeah.
Andrew Jack's what, 260?
Maybe I'm gonna get some hate, but Chris Bumstead might
You will get hate for truths like that, but it is a truth that people need to accept.
What were you going to say about Chris Bumstead, Florin?
Chris Bumstead would be a competition for 93 flex.
Yes, they were around the same size. Flex
You
would be
know,
closer to classic than
I,
open.
I can't wait to do this
Was a bit
comparison.
fuller indeed, a bit fuller, but like through his quads maybe, but
There'd
not
be a lot of
even
classic guys
48
back then.
was small in 93. Like not small, he was not full like nowadays. Dexter Jackson once said it in a podcast that 90s bodybuilders were not full as nowadays. That's why you have guys that like saying that nowadays guys are too soft. I think that sometimes they don't nail the conditioning, but they are fuller now, way fuller. Even Ronnie Coleman 98, 99. I know I can get a lot of hate for this too, but look at his if you look at the footage, his quads, like compared to 2003 Ronnie Coleman, it's a big difference. So I think like a guy like Phil Heath, Kai Green, or Big Ramy in shape can challenge Ronnie Coleman pre 2000. And his
Hmm.
Dorian Yates 93, I think he was too shred, too he was not full as nowadays. This is how I see it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe standing next to each other on stage would be different, but you can see when a guy is flat nowadays on stage. Like he's immediately you can see it in the placings when someone is a bit flat. I think guys in the 90s were flat compared to nowadays.
I think you guys may have done videos on these two. Andrew Jack versus Rubiel, if they faced off here in Dubai. Who would you guys have winning based on what we know?
Well, were they not supposed to compete?
At the Arnold.
Yeah, at the Arnold, and then here, but then Andrew Jack pulled out of both, and then
They both pulled out.
of the Arnold, yeah, and then Andrew
Yeah.
Jack decided not to do Dubai, and then
Oh yeah, I'm sure we've all done the comparison. I don't know, man.
that is tough.
You're gonna have to see it. You're gonna have to see the
I do.
size difference, and then if it's the aesthetics, if he makes him look like a fire plug, or Rubiel can make him look like a spider if he hits the wrong pose the wrong way.
Florin, what do you think?
I made a video and I got some hate, so I'm gonna put it like the front. I'm taking it pose by pose.
Okay.
The front poses are Andrew Jack. You have 3 poses like front owl, front lat spread, and abs and thighs.
I don't think there's an argument on that.
Yeah, no argument. And then let's imagine they both are on.
Okay.
Is Andrew Jack beating Rubiel in the side chest?
No.
Probably not.
Side triceps?
No.
Definitely not.
No.
Muscular?
Probably not.
The back pose.
The most muscular, is it that strong of a pose for Rubiel?
If he does it right and stops moving.
Well, that's just it.
I have the comparison on my Instagram. We can pull it out if you want.
Okay, let's
a
go.
video to see them pose, because Andrew Jack's a better poser. That makes a difference.
He still hasn't figured out how to do Andrew Jack still hasn't found a most muscular that
on the
works.
main channel.
Yeah.
You should
He does when he does his 2 hands on his hips. I think that's his best one. You know what I mean?
So this is Andrew, right?
Yeah, I think we can skip these first 2 shots basically.
Yeah,
We'll
look
just
at that polish, man. Look at that.
That's
Come on.
Mona Lisa. This is Andrew.
Hey, Rubiel's decent in this.
Yeah, Rubiel's like not
He's
that
decent,
bad.
but look at Andrew.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah.
But he's not.
No, he's
not
good.
getting bullied. Not getting bullied.
You know, if Andrew
neither is Andrew in this shot here.
If he can fix the shot, he can stop the bleeding per se, but I'd still have Rubiel probably.
But this is closer than
it's closer than expected. But
yeah, and then the front lat spread was close, so it's still a tie in my mind. And Rubiel should win this. Oh, you do IFBBF order or IFBB order.
The correct order.
Yes, I did a poll one time. They like my order.
Oh, what do you do? Front, side, side.
Both
and he switches the back poses.
Abs and thigh. Except for my competition, I do IFBB order.
I think Andrew may have the better back, but like top to bottom balance is going to Rubiel.
Yeah, I'd give this one to Rubiel, I'll be honest.
That's yeah, I can see it going either way, to be honest. This is not a good place for Andrew Jack.
And he's more conditioned too. Oh, he opened up there, looked decent.
Oh, well, let's take a look at the Christmas tree here.
Yeah, not much to speak of. Christmas trees were better back in the day.
I think this one, if Andrew Jack, I've seen him do it better, especially at the
Olympia. He didn't open up at the Texas.
No.
It was his best version to date, but this pose, I wasn't.
Andrew suffers from Flex Wheeler's glute ham softness.
Yes, he
and
does.
This hurts him like a lot.
And then that, I mean,
Andrew.
There's an ad. There's a plug.
Yeah,
Wait,
man.
what is this?
Unfollow.
Yeah.
We should probably consider subscribing to this channel, to be honest.
He spams us with this shit.
See, he's not hitting it the Tyler Mannion pose, the Mannion position.
And you know, Rubiel's abs and thighs, for being a mass monster, his abs are very blocky, bubbly. The belly button is a little much, but and I wish his quads were more separated. But
they were discussing that with a judge on the belly button.
There's certainly no way Andrew Jack is losing this pose, but you know,
not getting bullied.
Debatable.
But it's other variation of the abs and thighs from Andrew.
Look at that!
Yeah, that was great.
Second one there. Oh yeah.
And we were talking about the most muscular. I think Rubiel got the most muscular.
I think on stage he definitely would.
I like the 2 hands on hip one that Jack does.
I don't. I think that sucks.
This one here.
That sucks. He doesn't even hold it. And I'd tell that to him in real life.
No, you wouldn't. And he does when he does both hands. Right there. There's the one. There's the
he does it for 0.1 seconds. I'm leaving a hate comment.
You wouldn't tell him that in front of his face.
I'm about to. Who is this guy? The Super
Who's
Setman?
this SUPERSETMAN guy? He knows nothing. Thank God he's not
The
a
guy
judge.
over there. Over there. Oh, geez, I just poked you right in the head.
Hashtag free Tate.
There's been several mass monsters like Rubiel that have a pretty decent abs and thigh.
Mm.
Including
your
Big
your
Ramy,
mom?
if you ask.
Yes. Yes. No.
Okay. I need top fives from you gentlemen immediately. Let's start with.
Is there
Does
no?
anyone want to go first? Probably not.
I'll go first. I don't
Okay.
care.
Okay. Well, I didn't want to
I
go
might
first.
change. I might change my mind though. I gotta warn
No,
you because
wrong.
I have not made my. I probably won't.
Hold on. Hold on. Let me write this down. Let me write this down. Okay, you can go.
All right. I got Beirut Tabani picking up the big win.
Okay.
And we're going to go downtown with this. In second place, we're going with downtown Rubiel.
Okay.
We're talking downtown. Then I hate to do this to either Nathan or Bonac. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. It's tough.
Yeah.
But we'll go with Nathan. He's more apt to competing more often than Bonac in a row.
Bonac looks good.
I know.
I'll show you his most recent update. I don't want to stop you for that long, but
Oh no, stop
oh,
away.
he blocked this guy. That's why he's not tagged. Okay. Oh,
Huh.
you can't tag Bonac.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he has it turned off. Is that pinned? Okay. This waist is down.
Yeah.
His waist is only getting smaller as he competes. He is losing a little bit of that pop though. If he can kind of balance that out, I have him maybe top 3. But anyway.
You got to put him in.
Nate, did you put Nathan in
somewhere
third?
though. I put
Nathan?
Nathan in third. And old Bonac, I guess if Bonac could get even lower, like I was placing him at the M Pro, but then he went and won.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult to say because you got Akeem Williams who could get in there.
So between those two, who's your fourth and fifth?
We'll give it to Bonac for fourth, and fifth
Okay.
goes to the big Akeem Williams.
Okay. Yeah, I would kind of agree with that for the most part. At least that towards the bottom of the list. Bonac more complete. And probably is going to be more shredded than Akeem. Akeem is like Hassan. He's very good until he isn't, and that changes up quite quickly. So, Florin, you're up.
Yeah, so I do agree that Beirut and neckzilla will be the top 2, but I will have neckzilla in first.
Oh,
Okay.
Then
interesting.
let me put it like this: if Akeem Williams will look like he looked at the finals at the
Yeah.
Arnold, he can be top 3.
Absolutely.
I would agree.
Absolutely.
So I will go with that. This is gonna be my bet that Akeem is gonna nail it and be in third.
Okay.
I like that. I like the bold ones.
If yeah, I want to see this guy do it because like we mentioned earlier, he's very underrated. And then I mean, I love William Bonac. Like 2017 William Bonac can this will be unpopular, but he's better than Hadi and Derek nowadays for me.
I'll agree. 2024 Hottie probably better than 2017 Bonac, and that's a tough one. I'd have to see that
Anyway, it's
comparison.
very close. Like
Yeah, Bonac is underrated. 2017 Bonac, and I've done the comparison as well as you have. We reacted to it on the last
yeah,
episode, but underrated.
Bonac is that good. Like yeah, Hadi is probably the best bodybuilder of the decade so far. So having Bonac in this conversation says a lot.
Mhm.
But I will go with Nathan in front of Bonac because Bonac is missing. I mean, I love the guy. I would love to see him like win, but he's you can it's father time, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Nathan, how old is Nathan?
Almost 40.
He's 37, 8, 36, 37, 38.
Significantly younger than William. So that's how.
And that's the age right there. I mean, when you're 37, 38, you know, you're still just the day you hit 40, everything starts to ache. Everything.
Okay, I think I got mine.
What
I'm gonna,
about you?
I'm gonna start from the bottom up, and I don't necessarily agree, but I think this is what's gonna happen. Bottom up, fifth, Akeem. Fourth, Bonac. Third, Nathan. Second, Beirut. First, Neckzilla.
That's almost like mine, except the top two.
Yeah. I think it's just Bonac. Nathan beating Bonac is too soon. Um, if Nathan beat the better Bonac at Portugal, the big man, I think he can do it again.
Nathan
Even though I
beat
actually
the
disagree.
big man. That's a tongue twister and a half.
The big man evolution.
Nathan beat the bigger, better Bonac at big man.
I know. I saw on Muscle Memory. Anyway, that is our top fives. Let me stop sharing my screen here so we can bring back lagging Mark.
Hello.
Like
This
you're
is
still
lagging Mark.
you're still yeah, you just now started talking on the video.
The whole time I wasn't talking?
No, you were, but just like
3 seconds late.
it would be a little confusing to watch if the main focus wasn't what I brought up on the screen.
This is true.
But anyway, those are our predictions. Maybe we'll reconvene after the Dubai Pro. Going to be a very good show. What was your guys' favorite show of the year so far?
That's a good one.
Mine's the M Pro.
Are we counting just qualifiers for this year?
Just pro shows.
No,
yeah.
but there's 2023
No,
events.
we can let's include the 2024 season, which includes.
Okay, so
I thought Prague was
I
good.
really like Prague. I really like Prague. I really loved New York.
Mid.
Oh, I like New York.
I like the M Pro Classic.
Really?
Yeah, Florence probably
it
like
was good.
Romania Pro was goated, man. I was there.
Romania was great. Romania had
It
a
was
horse
good.
MD. I'll have to go with the Arnold Classic.
Doesn't count. Pick another one.
What do you mean it doesn't count?
That's pick another
Arnold UK.
one. Okay, whatever.
No, I liked, like I said, Prague was friggin' good. That big newcomer, I was like, wow, this year is gonna be awesome.
And it very good year.
Yeah.
Florin, what's your favorite show this so far of the
Man,
2024 season?
yeah, it probably aside from the Arnold was New York Pro because I got to see my favorite nowadays bodybuilder Nick Walker.
Yeah.
But I
Nick
was a
Hater
bit,
over here.
I was a bit disappointed because he wasn't at his all-time best.
Well, that's going to do it for this episode of the Project Bodybuilding Podcast. I think I labeled it wrong on my last podcast. I think this is actually episode 18, if I'm not mistaken. So, Mark, I told you, and Flora, and I haven't told you, if I get to 21 episodes, in all the people that do podcasts, only 1% of people do more than 21 episodes. So I'm going to be a top 1% podcaster.
How long did it take you to figure
Very
all that
soon,
out?
I saw it on it was an article. I don't know.
It's
I maybe
actually great, man. I've seen everybody on your show. Like I've seen Goat Fitness. I've seen
that's
EP.
it. That's it. Well,
Kenson from
yourself,
EP.
you
yeah,
guys,
Muscle Discord.
yeah, Jake.
Giles.
Giles.
I saw Jake Ultimate Fitness. I saw Mark's Max Muscle, and we'll be seeing SUPERSETMAN.
Exactly. And hopefully for more to come. Like I said, maybe we can reconvene after the Dubai Pro, see who had, even though they were very close predictions, who was the most correct. But anyway, thank you guys for coming on. And that's going to do it. Mark, lagging Mark. As awkward as it may be, could you do the outro?
This has been a special video
Sure has.
with Dylan and SUPERSETMAN and Marks Maximus. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen.
That's it.
Have a
That's
great
it.
night.